What is up, YouTube? NYKia31 here, bringing you Madden 12, an online game between the Colts and the Redskins. I'm going to be using the Colts in a new online franchise that's just getting started, so you'll be seeing plenty of Colts games, and I have finally got around to putting together a workable run-and-shoot offense, which I'm, labbing here in this ranked game, and I think I have a pretty good feel on it. I'm using the Chicago Bears playbook. You can use any playbook that has a good assortment of trips and spread formations and Y-flex formations, but the Eagles, the Saints, Packers, Chargers, Colts. I just use the Bears because I like Mike Martz. I'm a Mike Martz fan. I'm going to be going back and doing videos showing you guys, how I play and why I play the way I do. I'm a big fan of the run and shoot offense, always have been. Run and shoot and option football has always been my favorite styles of football. And in a later video, I'm going to show you the method to the hot routing that I'm doing here to create run and shoot plays that are in NCAA 12 and also that exist in real life but aren't in Madden, since no one in the NFL runs a true run and shoot anymore. You have run and shoot pass concepts, but you don't have a true run and shoot system in the NFL anymore. And Mike Martz is the closest offensive coordinator, or he has the most run and shoot style pass plays in his blood, so I use the Bears playbook because it requires the least amount of hot routing and digging around for the right formations. So that's just my personal preference. You can use whatever one you want, really. And also, I've included in the video description how I have the Colts set up to run the Tampa 2. Colts are, here's the thing with the Colts. You have to play with a lead with them. Otherwise, you're going to have problems because they're not really very good at stopping the run. They're soft at defensive tackle, and their linebackers aren't very strong, but here is where they excel. On 4th and long, 3rd and long, I have, 4 stud pass rushers. The slowest pass rusher on the defensive line is a 70 speed. They have excellent zone coverage. I hot route the middle linebacker to a deep blue zone to give me a 3 deep. And here we come. Boom. And you're going to see that as a consistent pattern on long yardage and yardage pass situations. That was as good as a blitz, and that was a 4-man pass rush. I have Ernie Simms at one defensive end, Freeney, of course, at the other. I have Mathis doing the Warren Sapp role, and Foster is my best block-shedding run stuffer. And there's Peyton Manning making a Peyton Manning throw. That was switch dig. All I had to do to get that play was to just cancel the play action and motion the tight end. Mike Martz makes my life easy. And here we go with a die on a screen pass. But going back to the Colts and how you play D with them, I have the setup that I use on the description to the video, and they're mediocre in man. So when I'm usually in man with them, I always have a safety deep. I'm very, very rarely in zero coverage unless I'm absolutely desperate to stop the run, because that's not their strength. You can especially run, between the tackles on them because they're light at defensive tackle, and while their linebackers are fast, they are excellent at zone coverage, and their corners and safeties are very good at zone coverage as well. They're not very strong. They're not great tacklers. They're not very strong at their point of attack and block shedding, but they can really pursue and they can really cover. And talking about simulation for a moment, how have the Colts been built defensively in the Peyton Manning era? They rely on the Colts offense to give them 35 points a game, and more often than not, if you're scoring that many points, See, there's man coverage. They don't do it very well at all. And that was my best press coverage corner in the slot there, and he still got roasted. But, going back to what I was saying, the Colts want to get out to a lead and force you to throw the ball to unleash their pass rushers and, force you to throw the ball into strong zone coverage. And I mix up what I do with Mathis. Sometimes he spies, depending on whether I think a guy's going to scramble or to clog that shallow middle and force that. And sometimes he's rushing, of course. And he has to settle for the field goal attempt. I thought he was going to go for it for a second, but he went for the field goal and got on the board. That's another thing about online. So many guys online, they beat themselves by doing crazy things. Take your points and punt the ball. You do yourself more harm than good more often than not. Like right there, I had to, get a extra rusher in there to stop that draw. And here's Mathis. And again, that's just a four-man rush. I got in there, Mathis got off his block, and Freeney was about to get off his block. So they get in there fast in passing situations, and it's 3rd and 15. And he's back into having to throw into strong zone coverage, or strong 2-deep man coverage. Hot route that linebacker to his deep blue zone to create that Tampa 2. Here we come again. All three of us kind of conversion there. Me, Mathis, and Freeney. So he's kind of up against it here because, doesn't have a whole lot of weapons. He's the Redskins and all. And if you force someone to have to throw into deep zone coverage using the Colts, you will get sacks, you will get picks, you'll get turnovers, fumbles, strips. A lot of good things will happen. Here I'm screwing up my hot routes. I just settle on freaking 4 verts here and get lucky that I catch him in the right defense for it. I have another video where I'm playing as the Atlanta Falcons going against the Texans, so you can see my bootleg run and shoot at work with a more even matchup. This play here, I'm hot routing to is choice. The solo side receiver has a choice of a curl, out, slant, in, streak, depending on how the defense is aligned. The slot receiver runs a drag, the Y receiver runs either a post, comeback, or streak, and the Z runs a vertical takeoff. And that's how I hit the curl receiver. This is 60 go, vertical takeoffs by the wide receivers on the wide side. Seam flat read, seam is open, and the way you want to set your roster up is that you want to have your best catch and traffic wide receivers as your slots and your best press breakers wide. So if they get open on those vertical routes, you can obviously hit them against press coverage.
The snap. Here comes the pressure. It's picked off.
Forced throw, and this game is pretty much a wrap.
And the tackle was made
so
by Rex Grossman.
I will be going into more detail as far as what I'm doing as far as hot routing and pre-snap reads go. This is just a simple mesh play, nothing fancy here. So I'm just trying to be safe at this point and protect my lead. So I'll let you guys see how this game plays out, and I will talk to you folks later. Peace.
Something went wrong on that play. You have the...
He splits the uprights. That attempt didn't look like it had a chance.
Yeah, he worked that one over the bar.
Throws it to the middle. He's brought down around the 41-yard line by number 53. Number 29 gets the ball. Pat Angerer was there for the stop. Looking, fires it to the left.
I think he would have needed it.
He's searching for a receiver. The ball is tipped away.
Big fourth down play by the defense.
They tackle him for a loss.
And when your defensive line can...
Looks left. Here's a short pass. And the tackle was made by O.J. Otagwe.
They were...
Has a man out to his right. The stop was made by D'Angelo Hall.
And you know...
Manning will hand it off. Gains his way to the 19-yard line. O.J. Otagwe was there to bring him down. He lost yardage on the play.
Did you see how fast that linebacker rolled? They're going to need to find a way to double team him if they ever hope to keep him off their quarterback.
And that opens up room for other defenders. Throws to his left.
I wish all our fans could see what's happening down the field on all our television broadcasts, because so much of the game now is won and lost in the secondary.
They're going deep.
You bring a little pressure.
Goes through his progression. Picked, and the defense seals it.
And there's no question.
That'll do it from FedEx Field. Game stats and highlights coming up. And let's take a look at the Gatorade Performer of the Game.
I guess I'm the ultimatum, and the drama where I'm often hated 'cause they not relating.